The worker accidentally kicked the hammer off the roof, and as the hammer fell powerlessly, it hit the iron frame on the wall below, chipping off a fixed screw, spun 180 degrees, and severed a passerby's large handlebar. Simultaneously, an old man was dragging a stolen manhole cover behind him, and the cover slightly skewed the sleeper below a wheel. The oil tanker, already with brake failure, without the sleeper's obstruction, immediately began rolling down the slope towards the intersection. Meanwhile, the U.S. camp ambassador happened to be stuck at the intersection at the bottom of the slope. With a crash, the rear top of the oil tanker directly hit the ambassador's limo. Gasoline immediately gushed in through the limo's windows with a gush. Before the minister could react, the old man who had walked to the foot of the slope carelessly tossed his cigarette, which happened to ignite the gasoline on the ground, resulting in a bang. The ambassador got caught in a blast and was nearly blown up. Immediately following, the second-in-command at the U.S. Embassy in the UK was ordered to urgently take office, becoming the youngest ambassador in history. Leon thought it was his exceptional ability that led to his unprecedented promotion, unaware that this series of butterfly effects was orchestrated by his merely 6-year-old son. The boy, born on June 6th at 6 o'clock, was always viewed by his classmates as an ominous figure. Coincidentally, at the exact moment the child was born, Leon's son was also born in the same hospital. However, by the time Leon anxiously rushed to the hospital, he only found the priest in charge of the infant's baptism standing outside the ward. The priest told Leon unfortunately the fetus had died and his wife's uterus was damaged during the difficult labor, making it very unlikely for her to have children again. He brought Leon to another delivery room and explained that the baby held by the nurse was an orphan, perhaps arranged by God. The little fellow was born at the same time as his son. His wife didn't know about their son yet, and he could adopt him so she wouldn't be heartbroken. Upon hearing this, Leon thought about his wife's inability to have more children and immediately decided to follow the priest's suggestion, presenting the child to his wife as their own. The couple named the child Damien and showered him with all the parental love. To this day, Leon's wife doesn't know that Damien, whom she raised with all her motherly affection, is not her biological son. When Damien turned 6, Leon's boss was killed in an explosion during an overseas trip, and Leon was promptly ordered to take office as the youngest ambassador in U.S. history. Just as Leon thought he was experiencing the twin joys of family and career success, an accident occurred at Damien's birthday party. During the celebration, a wolf dog just wagged its tongue and blinked a few times when the nanny's face suddenly revealed a bizarre smile. He then uncontrollably went to the rooftop, placed a noose around his neck, and with a smile, jumped off the roof. And this scene was caught by the media reporters on site. Everyone placed their orders, screamed in panic, and scattered to escape, except for the 6-year-old child who calmly watched everything. Amidst the chaos of the birthday party, Lowen hurried to his son's side. He held Demir in his arms to comfort him, afraid that his son might be scared by the nanny's accident. Little did he know, Demir merely waved his hand indifferently at the wolfhound, indicating he had received the gift. Because a murder occurred at the birthday party, Lowen soon encountered an unexpected visitor, Father Leif. Leif told him, "Your son is a demon. We must kill him immediately or more people will die." Lowen thought he was a lunatic and he called a guard to escort Leif out as a madman. The reporter who captured the nanny's suicide also happened to capture this scene. Later, while the reporter was cleaning the photos, he suddenly noticed an abnormal white light on Leif's head. At first, the reporter thought it was a problem with the film exposure, but soon he realized that every photo of Leif had this issue. Immediately, he sensed something was wrong. While contemplating what it all meant, Father Leif found Lowen again and asked to meet under the bridge. Lowen, wanting to get rid of Leif for good, accepted the meeting willingly. Olden heard Old Hay slander his son like this and immediately warned the other party, "If you keep talking nonsense, I'll kill you." Just as Olden turned around to leave, a sudden storm with thunder and lightning brewed in the sky. Old Hay realized Daimier already knew about this, so he hurried to the church only to find the church door locked from the inside. Before he could go elsewhere, a bolt of lightning struck and broke the lightning rod on the church roof. The 3-meter-long iron rod crashed through the skylight, hitting Old Hay in a deadly coincidence. The next day, as Olden went to work, he saw news about Old Hay. A reporter who had captured the strange beam of light above Old Hay's head saw in the images that the unusual light was the cause of death. No sooner had he shared this analysis with Olden, an accident befell Olden's wife. She was standing on a chair watering plants when their son, on a scooter, crashed into the chair. The woman's balance was lost and she fell, barely catching herself on the balcony wall. Olden begged Daimier to call for help, but Daimier just watched indifferently. In the end, the woman lost her grip and fell to the floor below. She was rushed to the hospital by the nanny, but Olden received news that the baby in her womb was lost and she herself had broken her spine, bound to bed for life. Olden realized all of Old Hay's predictions were coming true, but felt everyone was falsely accusing his son of being a demon. At that moment, a metal frame from the Middle East swung 180 degrees, slicing the reporter's neck. Olden lost it, realizing anyone who offended Daimier ended up dead. He decided then to take action. He took 7 knives and returned home, but didn't want to believe his son was a demon until he secretly cut his son's hair, seeing the 666 demonic mark Old Ba had mentioned. As he hesitated to act, the nanny burst in to protect Daimier. Olden rudely shoved her against the wall, knocking her out, and then grabbed Daimier, stuffing him into the car. He drove crazily to the church, pinning Daimier in front of Jesus' cross. He raised the knife to strike, but Vobler came, shot Olden twice, and Olden was finally honored with a state funeral by the U.S. president. Meanwhile, Daimier was taken under the president's wing from an early age, trained to help eliminate political enemies.